Good morning, guys. I hope we're all sparkly. Now, I think it's safe to say you've probably done something naughty that has led you to have low testosterone. Now, you may not have done something naughty. You may have been a virtuous good boy. Crossed the T's, dotted the I's. Yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you, sir. Well, you've also done something naughty. You've not realized that you are a hunter-gatherer. You are, at your core, an animal. So we live in a very civilized world, but our true nature is distorted by civilization. We've grown up in communities. Psychology has had a negative impact on our physiology. Now let's go back to the naughty boys, because being naughty is great fun. However, it's had a deleterious effect on our long-term physical and psychological well-being. But there is hope. What is that hope? It is testosterone replacement therapy. Is it just TRT? No. It's a sense of perspective. It is realism. It is the fact that you can use testosterone as a foundation from whence to build upon to address your lifestyle, your diet, and your physical exercise to be the man that you want to be. So, I say so a lot, don't I? I was thinking that the other day. So, when we think about being naughty, why are we naughty? Is it the fact that we're dissatisfied with the model? There's unease in the fact that we are not being our true selves in this crazy world? That's another conversation, perhaps over a few beers or something else. But we grow up, we go through puberty, our testosterone levels surge, we become men. Now, how do we fulfill our natural course? We don't need to survive, which is quite peculiar because we're the only species on this planet that does not really have a survival need. We live in a very safe, we're wrapped up in cotton wool. Everything is a little bit meh. So we don't need to survive. We don't need to use our surging testosterone, our surging cortisol in the morning for what we should be doing, hunting and gathering. So we've got all this testosterone, there's no danger. What should we do? Let's look to find a reward. In what form does reward come? Now, in hunter-gatherer days, it's finding food. It's finding a nice filly. Sorry, Lydia. And having a bit of rumpy-pumpy. Procreating and furthering your DNA so that you go on to the next generation stronger, fitter. But in our world, there is no danger. We don't get pushed down the right path. Now, the right path is physical exercise. I was speaking to one of my guys yesterday, and we were talking about his son. And fortunately, he's gone down the path of playing elite rugby. But that in itself leads to problems because the culture in rugby is heavy drinking, and heavy drinking has a deleterious effect on the HPG axis and numerous other organs and tissues. Alcohol. Damn you, alcohol. You're good fun, but when you first start to use it when you're 18, 19 years old, it's to increase your high because you're having a good time. Let's make it even better. But when you're in your 40s and 50s, unfortunately, it does become a little bit of a crux. And whilst you remember 18, 19 years old why you used to drink, when you're 40 and 50 and you have the responsibilities that you have and the weight of the world is crushing your spirit, it's actually a bit of an escape. And that escape is dulling consciousness. What's special about our world? Consciousness. An appreciation of self and others, and knowing one's place within society, within communities, within this world. Because it's not all about humans, it's about everything. So you dull your consciousness and you have issues when you become fully conscious. Now, it's the reason why alcoholics have delirium tremens. When they have this psychosis, it's because the alcohol suppressed the REM sleep for so long that when you actually stop drinking, that REM sleep needs to reboot, and it comes back and you have psychosis when you are awake, because REM sleep is actually a psychosis when you are asleep. Fortunately, it's okay to be psychotic when you're asleep. Not so good when you're awake. So you have to pay the piper. You have to realize that this is essentially all about balance. And if you suppress your consciousness through using alcohol or other drugs, you have to pay the piper. Hopefully that won't be a permanent effect, but we are misled, miseducated, uninformed, and we make bad choices. So lacking a survival need, we are faced with choices. Now let's go back to primitive hunter-gatherer days. The choice was survive or die. So we have no survival need, and we get choices which allow us to make good choices and bad choices. We are seeking reward. Now, what's the most effective way to reward? Taking the path of least resistance. It's one of our integral drives, survival drives. Take the path of least resistance. But when the model is so distorted, so far removed from nature, and the path of least resistance to achieve a dopamine reward is doing something naughty, then we take it, because we do not have the experience and we have not been truly informed or educated about life, because it's distorted. We take the path of least resistance and we end up getting in trouble, primarily because of our testosterone and the fact that the model is distorted. So what should we do? Well, when you have low testosterone, you want to look to naturally increase your testosterone through addressing lifestyle, diet and exercise. Lifestyle. Sleep is the most integral component of this. Trying to have a good quality 8 hours is integral to anabolic processes. Now, we've all burnt the candle at both ends, gone to bed after midnight. Clue is in the name, middle of the night. If we were supposed to be awake at night time, we would have developed double corneas or retinas to help us see at night time, but we haven't. So we are supposed to be asleep at night time, middle of the night. Stress. We have psychological stress more than physical stress. If you fire up your sympathetic nervous system, fire up all of your hormones, cortisol, noradrenaline, adrenaline, and you don't release that through physical exertion, that psychological stress builds and builds and builds. And as we said, psychology negatively impacts physiology. We need to use physiology and our knowledge to improve our psychology. You heard it here. Nutrition, big fan, low carb, high fat. Lots of people have vitamin D deficiency, they lack zinc, etc., etc. You do need to understand that you are what you eat. Your cells are alive. They're alive. So they are replicating. You do need to feed them not only macros, but also micronutrients. When I ask my guys, what's your diet like? And they start saying, I eat 200 grams of carbohydrates. Okay, all right, enough. So eat real food. Do not eat processed food. Eat enough. Drink enough to support your body. So I got a little bit lost there. Exercise, physical exercise. I mean, essentially we are endurance athletes because our skeletal structure is designed for that, but horses for courses. Train according to your needs, have enough food, have enough rest. Train smart, train hard, eat for, I don't know, I'm getting lost now, I'm tired. Not really good starting the day. So yeah, what happens? We have to pay the piper. How do you pay the piper? Look at what went wrong. Don't do those naughty things that you did before. Look to ways to improving your physical health, and that will have a positive impact on your psychological health. Kill or be killed.